Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have the lovely Isabella and her beautiful mother in the car. And Isabella's got her own YouTube channel and she's going to tell us about mental health for young people. So nice to have you here today, Isabella and Mum.
Hello.
Hi, thank you. It's actually not a YouTube channel, it's a website and an Instagram account.
Okay.
But it's basically just a non-profit which I'm starting to kind of help create an outlet for younger children, specifically in primary school, to kind of talk about mental health and body image, because I often think that kids are raised with kind of society telling them that they're not good enough for so many different reasons, and I think that kind of the best way to stop generations having to relearn how to love themselves is to kind of teach it right the first time. So that's what I'm attempting to do.
What was the main catalyst that got you started in that?
Well, I have OCD, which is something which I've dealt with for, how long has it been now? About 3 years? Yeah. So that's a big thing on the mental health side. And then also, I don't think there was one...
So what's OCD, just for the listeners?
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Okay.
And it's to do with kind of intrusive thoughts which kind of come with severe anxiety, and then compulsions and rituals that you can do, for example turning on a light switch multiple times to reduce the anxiety. And it's very illogical, but trust me, all the emotions are real.
And this voice and the urge is so strong, isn't it? It feels like it's part of you.
Yeah, it definitely feels kind of like, you know, your gut feeling and your inner voice, which often tells you kind of warnings and stuff. It sounds just like that, so it's very hard to differentiate, which is probably, I think, one of the hardest things for me dealing with it. But so that's probably the mental health side. But with the body image thing, I think it's not one event. I think it's just especially over 2020, the last year, I saw so much on social media, kind of these glow ups when you come out of lockdown, kind of this pressure to work out more and eat amazingly, despite the fact that there's a global pandemic impacting on mental health. And I think there are just so many societal standards and kind of definitions of beauty which are so inaccurate and can really harm people's view of self and overall mental health.
Yeah, I hear that, because some people would say as an adult you just ignore it, but as a child it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you're not there, you don't understand the world and everything in that respect of things. How long have you been doing this for?
It's a very new thing. I came up with the idea, I've actually been thinking about the idea for nearly a year, maybe a bit less, but the website just became up and running last night, which
okay, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's the name of the website?
It's called oneself.org, and my Instagram account is Isabella_Aliana.
Do you want to spell those out for us?
Yeah, so oneself is with the number 1 and then self.org, and Isabella is Isabella_ALIYANA.
Talking about the OCD, what have you found out that you wish you knew when you started in relation to handling it?
I think just the differentiation between the intrusive thoughts, because some of them can be so kind of, what OCD does, it twists your core values. So obviously you wouldn't want anything bad to happen to your family, and suddenly you get intrusive thoughts and images of something bad happening to your family, and the feelings of guilt that come along with that, because you don't want to be thinking that. And OCD does a really good job of convincing you that you actually want those things to happen. And I think the main thing is to just know that it's your OCD. You wouldn't feel such anxiety and such horror at what you're thinking if you actually wanted it to happen, because I've always dealt with such a lot of self-criticism and guilt surrounding kind of my intrusive thoughts, and I think I would just say knowing that they're separate and to treat yourself with kindness in that respect.
How would you say, obviously you've got a very supportive mother here.
Yes.
What would you say for someone who's listening, who's going through that, or has a family member, how would you say they can help that family member deal with it?
I think OCD can be so different for everyone, and I know that a lot of the time it seems illogical. OCD is completely illogical, but it doesn't stop the feelings being real. So kind of withholding any judgment would be brilliant. And also, even if the compulsion, so repetitive actions, even if you can't see them, they can be mental too. So believing people when they say it, and also getting a therapist was one of the best things that I could have done. So I recommend looking out for some professional support.
So what is your website going to offer?
Well, at the moment, the aim is to kind of have student-led talks to go to different primary schools and potentially high schools as well, and kind of talk to them about the matters I've been talking about. But at the moment, the website has my contact details to get involved, and also a section where there's a blog where you can send in kind of advice or experiences anonymously or with your name, and you can send them in, and then I can post them every Sunday. And I think this just kind of creates an outlet for people to share their stories without the pressure of social media kind of always following your every move and everything.
It's also the link for the helplines.
Oh yeah, and we also have a page with all of the links you can access to for different mental health disorders and just assistance.
Have you gone to the hospitals to, like, I believe there's probably a specialist hospital who deal with that, and then told them what you're doing, and then you kind of work in conjunction with them, that all their patients can become aware of your site?
That's a really good idea, actually. I haven't thought of that. That's a brilliant idea. Thank you.
That will boost your thing, and then you go on social media forums like a Facebook page for families or people who are dealing with that, and make yourself known. You'll probably blow up overnight. Probably need your mum to jump in and help.
That's a brilliant idea. Thank you.
Stuff, and things like that. So what does you're studying? You understand?
Yes, I'm in year 12.
Okay, and what are you studying?
I'm studying psychology, English literature, and film studies.
Okay, so where are you aiming to go with that?
Well, at the moment, I'm very interested in studying at uni to do with kind of philosophy or cultural and gender studies, or maybe continuing on with English. At the moment, I'm interested in kind of journalism, but I definitely want to be able to kind of continue helping others, especially in this way.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Journalism, I heard, is actually dying a death, so you might not want to do. They say most people under 30 don't even watch the news anymore. They just watch this social media and they just generate their own opinions on things.
Yeah, so much information is now through kind of social media posts and everything, so that could be an issue. just a thought in that respect. Well, it's been great talking to you. Thank you so much.
We wish you well on your ploy with your careers and your website. We expect you to blow up now. You've had those little tips.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
Your mum will be reminding you.
Yes.
Yeah. And the last question is, what's the impact you want to have on the world? And you've kind of answered this, but I always throw this question out there just to give people that thought of the true goal, ultimate goal for their own personal lives. And this goes to Mummy as well.
Oh,
not just you.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Oh, for me personally, or would I think her?
For you.
For me, well, I just think that we have to look at ourselves before we start criticizing and wanting to change other people, and love ourselves so we can nurture others. And when everybody actually sees that without, it sounds so cliche, but without kindness and compassion and love for one another, we're just going to go down a really bad way, because a lot of people who are in power, they're there not to make things better for us, but just for greed or whatever. And we as the people really need to look out for that as well, and be there for each other. And that's what I want to do.
That's a very good point.
And Isabella?
I think kind of similarly in the idea that I think it's so kind of ingrained in society that looking after yourself is somewhat selfish, and I think it's definitely getting a lot better now, but to kind of promote the idea that talking about your problems and being there for one another, that's not considered weak. And I know that a lot of the time that is getting a lot better, especially in this day and age, but it's still there's still kind of stigma and misunderstandings about mental health and a whole range of situations, and I really just want to become educated to show respect and to really encourage others to do the same, and to, like my mum was saying, support one another and show each other compassion and love.
Okay, that's good. Well, thanks a lot for that.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
And we wish you well.
You too.
What an amazing coincidence, isn't it? The universe works
Oh
for
no,
us.
wait a minute. It didn't record. Did you press one of the buttons?
Oh no!
Oh no, wait. We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.